One woman is dead and 3 other people are in the hospital after a shooting in downtown Austin. I'm Elizabeth Janot, and that tops your news in a minute. Another shooting happened at the same time, although no one there was injured. Police had initially reported the incidents as an active shooter situation. Police are asking anyone with information on the first shooting to come forward. Investigators near Lockhart are still trying to piece together what caused a hot air balloon crash that killed 16 people. Early investigations indicate the balloon may have hit a power line before the basket burst into flames. We're also trying to learn more about the company that owned the hot air balloon. We reached out to Heart of Texas Hot Air Balloon Rides for comment, but they declined to speak with us. And the Travis County Sheriff's Office hosted Coffee with Cops this weekend. Saturday's meeting at an area McDonald's was dedicated to fallen Travis County Sergeant Craig Hutchinson. Good morning, and thanks so much for joining us here on Time Warner Cable News this Sunday. I'm Elizabeth Janot. It's 8:01, and that means it's time for a check of your forecast with meteorologist Emily Borchard, and we're getting close to those triple digits, which will stick with us most of the work week, right, Emily?
Yeah, we've got heat building back in. It was nice last week to get the rain. It kept temperatures below normal. Yeah, but we're wrapping July up with hotter conditions as we start to dry out. So here's a look at what's happening this morning. Not much to show you. A little bit of cloud cover again that's developed, and this has kind of been the trend. When we get a southeast wind, we get a lot of moisture, and that's what we've been seeing in place. So some low clouds, not as much fog this morning as we were seeing yesterday for areas along and east of 35, and that's really where a lot of the rain fell last week. So the ground was a little more on the moist side, damp side, and maybe that's why the fog was a little thicker there yesterday morning. Temperature, it's mid to upper 70s, a little cooler in the hill country, 79 right now in Austin, 78 in San Antonio. Winds are light out of the south, not providing much relief into the afternoon. Our clouds will clear this morning. We'll find afternoon sunshine, and any showers that develop will stay well off to our east. Futurecasters want to bring some of those close to the 35 corridor. Just don't think that we're going to get that as high pressure starts to take over. A little bit more cloud cover tomorrow morning and afternoon sunshine and fewer of those sea breeze storms along the coast. Temperatures today mid to upper 90s, feeling even hotter. A little hotter today. You take yesterday's highs and add on a degree or two. That's what we're looking at for this afternoon, and we'll fall back into the 70s overnight. So as high pressure builds in, that's what we're starting to find today. It's going to shut off our rain chances, and it's going to get even hotter. We're looking at a long stretch again of triple-digit afternoons. I've got the 7-day with the details coming up.
All right, thanks so much, Emily. And now we'll take a look at your top stories. Shots were fired in downtown Austin overnight. 1 person was killed and 4 others were injured. Our Victoria Moranin is downtown, joining us now with more. Victoria?
Well, Elizabeth, several hours have passed, and you can see that 6th Street and Brazos are still shut down from last night's shootings. Now, Austin police are still looking for the 6th Street shooter, and they've interviewed several witnesses, and they've all had a constant description of the gunman. They say the gunman was a Hispanic or light-skinned black male. Investigators say shots were fired near 6th and Brazos just after 2:15 this morning. A woman was shot dead while 3 others were injured. Those 3 have been sent to UMC Brackenridge. Then, a few hours later, another shooting happened near a parking garage on Trinity and 8th. A person was believed to have shot at another person. Now, witnesses took it upon themselves to disarm this person before police arrived. The shooter was injured and was also sent to the hospital. Austin police say that time of night is some of the busiest downtown. That's why it was chaotic.
As you can imagine, with this being shortly after 2 a.m. and the large crowds that we have on 6th Street at this time, all the individuals leaving the bars, it was a very chaotic scene. A lot of people running in different directions with all the gunshots that were coming out.
Now, while both shootings happened so close to each other, police say they are unrelated, and no names have been released. Elizabeth?
All right, Victoria, thanks so much for that report. And if you happen to have any pictures, videos, or information from 6th Street last night, make sure to email the Austin Police Department or contact that number on your screen. A major investigation is underway after a hot air balloon caught fire and crashed in a field near Lockhart yesterday morning. Texas Department of Public Safety officials say 16 people died in the crash. Our Alex Stockwell has the very latest from NTSB investigators at the scene.
You saw a big fireball go up, and it's just praying that whoever was there got away from the thing in time.
Residents of Maxwell, Texas, shocked by what unfolded in this small town Saturday morning. A hot air balloon carrying 16 people caught fire mid-flight after reportedly hitting a power line.
I think the pops that I heard was the balloon connecting with the lines. And by the time I looked that way, it was already on the ground. And then the fireball went up.
The Caldwell County Sheriff's Office discovered the basket portion of the balloon in flames just before 8 o'clock this morning. The National Transportation Safety Board and the Federal Aviation Administration are looking into what caused this tragic crash.
We've asked the FBI's evidence response team out of San Antonio to come and assist us with scene documentation. This is a normal practice for the NTSB in events that are classified as major accidents.
Investigators say this will be a difficult site for them to work through.
Much like a crime scene, you only get one chance at it, so we want to make sure we do everything correctly. And thanks to the cooperation of all these agencies standing next to me and behind me, we've been able to start on the right foot with that.
Residents say they often see hot air balloons passing through this area, but never imagined anything like this would happen.
I don't know anybody. As of now, I don't know anybody. I hope that, but I mean, nonetheless, it's just a tragedy for the people that are going to find out what happened to all the people that were in it.
Experts will now have the tough task of determining whether this tragedy could have been prevented. In Caldwell County, I'm Alex Stockwell.
The balloon was from Heart of Texas Hot Air Balloon Rides. We reached out to the company for comment, but they declined to speak with us. People who live in the area say the balloons often land around here. One witness describes the horrific scene she saw moments after the crash.
I heard one pop before I stepped out the door, and then I heard another pop, and I'm looking around to see who's shooting because it sounded like a gun going off. And then I looked off over there, and the next thing I knew, you saw a big fireball go up, and it's just praying that whoever was there got away from the thing in time.
We'll make sure to keep you updated on the investigation as details are released. The Travis County Sheriff's Office had breakfast outside the precinct yesterday morning. Officers and civilians met up at an area McDonald's for coffee with cops. The event gives the community a chance to get to know each other and start conversations on the roles of law enforcement. The Sheriff's Office encourages residents to ask officers questions related to safety and the law. Yesterday's event was dedicated to fallen Travis County Sergeant Craig Hutchinson.
It's not only important to remember Sergeant Hutchinson in this way, but for us as law enforcement in this troubling time to get out and show that we're people just like everybody else.
20% of inside sales benefited the Sheriff's Memorial and Benevolent Society, which is accepting donations on behalf of the Hutchinson family. Funeral services for Travis County Sheriff's Office Sergeant Craig Hutchinson are being held on Tuesday. He was shot in the back early Monday morning after he reported seeing prowlers on his property. Authorities say people should expect traffic delays between 7 a.m. and 2 p.m. because of the funeral procession. There will be temporary road closures through parts of North Austin, where Hutchinson will be laid to rest. For more information on Tuesday's funeral procession, head over to our website, twcnews.com.